let me orientate you guys with what's going on. Obviously, because of the remarks and people talking about we need some new energy. We spend time focusing on rappers we do know instead of focusing on rappers we don't know. And I was like, all right, cool, you know. Let me do something. And I went on Twitter, and because people were already giving me tracks, and I've never listened to people who gave me tracks on social media. And then I was like, okay, I can see this is nice, you know? Let me encourage them instead of saying they mustn't do it. So send me the tracks, you know, I'll check it out on Saturday morning, then I'll give you feedback. If it's whack, it's whack. If it needs a little bit of a feedback, I'll give it to you, you know? Build a rapport with my audience instead of thinking like, yo, let's focus on these guys. But obviously because it helps the show, you know what I'm saying? So people started sending songs. I started throwing some remarks. I actually got 3 songs that I'm playlisting from that exercise.
How many songs did you get?
Huh?
How many songs?
I got a lot. Okay. But I was focused on...
Average?
Like 20.
So 3 made it.
3 made it. A lot of people are garbage, and a lot of you guys think you're so dope. You've got whack friends that won't tell you the truth.
And Scoop has been telling them, like, on the tweets, like, my brother, no.
They want to come at you like the way they came at KO. Remember when you did that shit as well?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So the other thing that happened is I'm seeing a lot of the covers, you know, and I have been seeing the covers. A lot of these guys also might be dope, but they look very... bad. They're not taking care of themselves. And they're not understanding that, especially in an era of Instagram, there is no entertainment industry with no sex appeal. Now, even Rick Ross is working out. Even DJ Khaled is working out. DJ Mustard is working out.
Yeah.
And they're not saying you gotta be thin or you gotta be, you know, but you really have to take care of yourselves. And I tweeted, I said, you know, some of you dudes really look bad. You're drinking at a young age.
Yep.
You're smoking at a young age.
Yep.
You're drinking other stuff instead of liquor also at a very young age. Also popping pills.
Yeah.
And all of this has an effect on you. Then you're eating garbage on top of that. Then you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Then you're not in the right space mentally as well.
Yeah.
And Goku, it shows on their appearance at such a young age. So Yabakawata Londole, Umjita's going to be forced to be a ghostwriter for someone who looks better than him and has less talent. Because that's where the game is also going. You feel me?
100%.
So, and even now when Speedy's talking about, you said something about
a stomach bug. Yeah, that's from drinking. I've probably drank like 10 years straight, every single weekend.
I feel you.
And the reality is that I'm growing up as a person, so it's catching up with me, you know. It's important that I take care of myself. I used to feel like it's part of my juice, you know. I used to feel like what if I'm in the club and I'm not having shots, like that's part of my juice, you know, like that's what I do, that's what gets people going. But you get to a point where it's like, okay, but it's part of your juice. You're giving all these people everything, but what about you, you know? So it's important. It's really, really important.
You need to look after yourselves. And I think what I also appreciate about this conversation is that it also kind of boils back to the importance of actually looking after yourself, but also just stage appearance. You want to be taken seriously. Somebody like Scoop is now listening to your music and he wants to see, okay, are you an artist that he would...
marketable?
Are you marketable?
Yeah.
Are you sound good? Do you look good? If I was a label, would I want to take you and market you? Would you be sellable? And I think it's always been a big fight, especially within the hip-hop industry, because for instance, the females have always had to kind of step it up a little bit to be like, okay, you've got talent, but do you look good enough for me to sell you? Yeah. And that's why you find the girls kind of getting themselves into like looking like bads and stepping it up a bit because they understand appearance is a big thing. Whereas I would always feel the guys didn't pay as much attention to that whole sphere because they'd be like, I can rap, what more do you need from me? Like they literally like get up from their couches and go and perform. And it's like, but why do you look like that? At least look presentable so that I, as a fan, can also be like, oh my gosh, he looks amazing, and he's talented. You know what I mean? Like it's a full package thing. So if you're drinking and you're smoking and it's drugs and it's what are you gonna look like when you're 30 and you're trying to be at your peak of your career?
And that's the thing. We're not saying. I personally, we're not saints. You know, we smoke on the show, we drink on the show, but everything is in moderation. Yeah. And also, the thing is, you guys are doing it so young.
Yeah. You can't miss interviews because you have a hangover. You can't, like, it doesn't work like that. You can't go to an interview smelling like fucking, I don't know what, because you're in studio the whole night. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
So here's the thing I like about hip-hop. Hip-hop always breaks rules. This one thing I've always fell in love with hip-hop. You don't have to look good, you don't have to whatever, right? And my thing is, especially I think what people also don't understand, it's not about the looks. I don't really think looks sell for me. It's about the talents, right? And how you present yourself. Yes, you have to stay healthy, number one, because when you're performing out there, you have to give a 30 minutes performance. Are you going to perform? Are you healthy to do it, right? And two, these guys, they don't eat right? So you got to eat your greens before drinking, Speedy. You know what I mean?
Do you eat greens, Speedy?
I do.
Do you cook broccoli and cauliflower and spinach?
I don't physically cook it, but I eat.
And this is the main reason why I changed my eating habits.
Yeah.
This is the main reason. I'm 37 and I want to do what I'm doing for a bit more longer.
You're 10 years older than me. That's crazy.
You feel me?
That's crazy.
You know, and I had to do that. I was like, no. If I'm going to continue, you can ask him. We'd be in the clubs from Tuesday to the next Tuesday. This is not even in December.
Yeah.
Do you understand? From Tuesday to Tuesday, we are in. We are drinking the bottle, finished in 30 minutes. We are taking Jaeger bomb shots and tequilas. And this is on a daily basis.
And you wake up and you're still doing a shoot, you're still doing this, you're still doing that, you're just going.
So for me, it's also just knowing what you have to do. So if the next day I know I've got work, I'm performing somewhere, don't drink hectically, right? I can't speak about the lean part, you know what I mean? Because I think drugs is fucked up, because drugs will fuck you up in a financial position as well. And that's why you become broke.
And I think people also don't realize how lean has affected so many people's...
The slur.
Outside of that, I just think like the person who kind of created this coolness, Lil Wayne, found himself in a hospital. So do you not then sit back and say, oh, if Wayne gone to hospital, surely at some point I'm going to go to hospital. Do you want to go to can you afford a hospital? Do you want to be sick? I mean, like...
I remember there was a point...
let's forget about it.
There was a point when Cast Time Fam, X and Smashes, right? They were on that lean thing, right? There was that era. Even when they started recording, you could hear it in the deliverance, because now they were slurring, it's being slow, and you know what I mean? And immediately when Kid X stopped that thing, and he came like, yo, I'm stopping this thing, I want to get my life together, and he delivered Pasta Special. And now you could hear his was more clear. You're like, okay, now you're pronouncing great. Now we can connect to do, we hear you. So that's the thing about these kids with these drugs. Drugs do actually affect.
You know, when we were recording Combos Communicating with Malum, I think you were actually at the studio that day.
I was there,
He all he wants is water. That's all he drinks that's all he drinks, water. He doesn't want water.
This is an age thing, right?
You know?
Because we've grown and we're seeing the era in our ways. And we're not trying to preach to you guys. We're just saying, because we're seeing the era in our ways and our people's ways, we're letting you know very early. Instead of just keeping quiet and hoping you guys just fall onto the wayside. We're just letting you know what you're getting yourselves into now. And even though you continue to do it, it's cool, do it. I understand we're not a rehabilitation center here, that you guys have your vices and you want to do your thing. You have to just, at the back of your mind, be aware of what's happening to you.
Yeah. And please, get yourself some medical aid. If you can't do it yet, get yourself a hospital plan. Do that shit. It costs you not even more than 200 rand. You need to do it.
I would rather have sneakers than have medical aid.
No, even me on the come up, I remember I wasn't making a lot of money, but I had a hospital plan to a point where I have medical aid. I was in the hospital the other day. I didn't pay shit.
Yeah, these kids don't make as much money as you.
Yeah, I was about to say,
but that's what I'm saying. When I was on the club, I had a hospital plan. It cost me 200 rand.
There you go.
That's
nothing for you
guys. Okay, cool. It's either it's nothing,
you can't tell me I never get sick.
But medical aid is expensive,
all types of pills. Of course you're going to get sick.
I just think maybe it's just advising and it's having true friends at the end of the day. That's my thing, right?
We are these people's true friends.
Yes,
that's why I'm telling them to get hospital plans.
Cool. Okay, cool. I hear you.
Straight up, we're the big brothers and sisters I never had.
Straight up. I smoke my weed, I drink my liquor, but now it's just different.
It's in moderation.
Mad different.
I think that's what we're trying to preach here is moderation.
And some people are going to say, but moderation, you must quit it. We're not going to be here to say that.
We're not saying quit. I mean, we're the same people who, like you said, we drink on the show. But at the end of the day, we also understand that you need to take yourself seriously to some degree. So, for instance, if you know you need to wake up and go to a shoot or a meeting or what, to be presentable, just don't take it too much. Don't take it to the top the night before. That's it.
Straight up. And
Respect,
also the
right?
fitness factor. That was big.
Yeah.
You have to be fit to perform these tracks.
Yeah.
You can't be walking up and down.
Yeah.
The lung capacity to keep that energy there is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what started Casper with the working out.
Yeah.
Was when he was starting to the fill-ups, he was actually doing it for fitness, for the stage presence.
Yeah.
And then of course now he wants to be a sixth motherfucker.
But with that said, gym is not for everybody. I myself am not a gym person, but I play soccer and I skate.
You skate?
Those are my, so find your own way of staying fit or whatever. You
I was
don't
actually
have to go
listening
to the gym.
to the radio the other day, and they had Joop Joop on stage. And obviously, he packed on a couple of pounds since he was away. And he even said, he was like, yo, when I came back and I jumped on stage, after the first song, he's already like, So he even said, like, for him, just for health purposes, he's trying to decrease, eat healthier, so that he can at least last the whole performance.
Yo, that guy has got another vibe, guys. Like, Joop Joop, he's still got that.
Joop been a superstar,
he fucked
man.
up, I do. Like,
Blama
I
Sweetie.
still
He's been a
listen to him
superstar,
talk, and I'm like, he just got this
Kills
thing,
it.
man.
Yeah,
He's got this thing. Like,
He's
I
meant
know
for
who
it,
I
right?
am, and I'm like, yo, you are nice. man.
He's nice at it.
I listen to him all the time. The
He's nice
intro,
at it.
blah, blah, blah. He always speaks like he is the most important person in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
And I love how he's owning up to the show. He's like, this is my vibe.
Yeah.
Like, this is my vibe. I'm gonna find you.
And he maneuvers English and Tsotsital
Yeah, he kills it.
seamlessly.
Shout
Always had
out.
it.
Shout outs to Troopster. Yo,
I feel like
Blama
TV
Sweetie.
needed that. TV needed a show like that.
Yeah,
I
big
don't
ups.
know, man, but I just know we needed him. But I don't know a show like that. I go Love Back Land. Go My Perfect Wedding, where helicopters are landing at Dusty near Amanskral. We don't need those kind of things. And we don't. And then now on Mocha Love, everything has been taken a step lower. They have a show now where they have a flight for a call to action for a show where they say, do we have news about anybody? We will pay you for your news from 5,000 to 35 Rand. These things are not good, VG. And instead of making content that builds the nation, 80% of this nation of South Africa, he's dilapidating it. And SABC, that's where they fell in. But even they are fucking up. So this is my problem.
It's not building the nation.
Well, some of it is, I don't think it's degrading people. Some of it is actually probably educating people as well.
Educating how?
Well, in terms of like something like, I don't know what the show is about, right? Ratulela, right? And you find someone that has been taking drugs and the family say, we've been calling out for help. And these things happen within our community. I've got uncles as well who've been on drugs for years, where my own grandmother used to cry, used to like take them to prison, you know what I mean? And they'll come back and they'll be like, Umtana, I'm sharp, fine. But then they don't get help. And when you watch these things, they're like, okay, cool. So I see how drugs actually impact the family. So I get knowledge out of watching these things.
I can understand that, and definitely, because that again is building.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
Now we're solving something.
Okay, cool.
When I have a flyer, electronic flyer on television, asking a nation to come with news that you have on somebody.
Okay, that one is bad, right?
You understand?
Yeah, that one is bad, right?
I think what Scoop is trying to allude to as well is that if you watch the content that's on CakeNet, it's all positive content. It's all how
they don't
we're
have
building.
rehabilitation things on there.
No. But outside of that, it's also what is good in the Afrikaans community. How can we shine a light on how the Afrikaans community is winning? Whereas a lot of the content that you find on the Mocha Lives and things like that is stuff like you're saying, the Ujora 99, where it's a cheating show and people are just sitting there and watching. I remember I actually saw a tweet where somebody actually mentioned how you have Our Perfect Wedding, where everybody sits back and they watch because they want to laugh at how lower grade these weddings are. But then you watch something like a Top Billing where they go to a white person's wedding and it's like, oh, glam and class. And it's like, okay, but is it the same production company that's kind of putting these shows together? Why would you decide to take a lower end for Our Perfect Wedding compared to what you do for the white wedding?
Guys, with all of that said, we have to be honest that the stories are being told, and like Vijay said, we want to know about the stories. Yeah. I feel like you guys are being angry about the business part of things. No. But that's got nothing to do with the content.
No.
We missed out. They're doing it, but the stories are being told. You coming from a business perspective.
I'm not coming from a business perspective. I'm coming from a place where I worked on television for 15 years. I know the impact that what these kids and what people see on television does to their lives. Yeah. And I'm very upset right now that after 25 years of democracy and where we are, because SABC has failed black, not even edutainment. We are at a stage where we need education and entertainment. The school system is fucked up. Everything is fucked up in our society. And the one place where we have an impact, which was television, because we're seen as being cool, we're seen as all these things. But I find it very whack that we only show one side of African black life.
Okay, so Scoop, this is, for me, I'm gonna ask you one question, right? So, a show like Zola 7, you remember the show, right?
Of course.
That was building and helping out the community, right?
Of course.
If that had to come back now, will it get the same ratings as Ujola 99?
I feel you, my nigga,
Right?
but
Because at the end of the day, this
Mamela
is business.
Show,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's not about ratings. I'm
Yeah.
chasing revenue.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Obviously, it won't get the same ratings, but it's not about ratings. It's about what we need as a country.
But
just like when you have a kid. Sometimes your kid wants to eat sweets,
Yeah.
and you're like, you must eat your greens.
No, I have to.
because you know better.
Yeah, definitely.
So if we know better, we've got to do better.
And also ratings-wise, I also just think it's not necessarily that you have to have a show where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a boring TV show today where we show the positive side of South Africa. No, there's ways you can manipulate content to be entertaining even though it's positive. The fact that Zola 7 was as big as it was at that time meant people wanted to see that content. People wanted to see positive stories. They wanted to have a township hero. So not that he's going to have as big a rating as someone getting found cheating or whatever, fine. But at the end of the day, he's still going to bring in good ratings because we want those stories.
Yeah, so we just went all in with that one.
Dog.
That's a whole other part.
Yeah. Peace.